If you live here, fun is your thing. If you live here, tough is your thing. Smart is your thing. Caring is your thing. If you live in Massachusetts, community is your thing. Since 1972, the Massachusetts State Lottery has provided over $25 billion to help cities and towns with the things they need most. If you live here, giving is your thing.
My family earns respect.
My family clears bases.
My family breaks records.
My family wins MVPs.
My family gives everything.
My family makes history. My family wins championships.
There's no family.
There's no family.
There's no family.
There's no family like my family.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
When Alaska Airlines needed a partner for the complex operations of travel, they made the switch to T-Mobile. Our 5G has Alaska Airlines and their customers covered, from major hubs to remote destinations, with 5G coverage ready now for the demands of today and the future. T-Mobile's network powers Alaska Airlines as they deliver next-level care for all customers. 5G ready now. That's how unconventional thinking is better for business.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some were skeptical. So we're not gonna have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
The top two pitching staffs in the Cape Cod Baseball League meet for a third time on an absolutely gorgeous Thursday evening in Hyannis. It's the Cotuit Kettleers coming to McKeon Park to take on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. So happy to have you with us alongside Michael Kirsting, Mickey Doolittle. I'm Jacob Irons. Bria Losick, the fourth member of our team, will join us in a few moments. Guys, if Game 2 between these two teams in the West Division is any indication, Game 3 is going to be stellar.
I want to see these two teams play till the end of time after that game. It was unbelievable. I know Cotuit fans probably disagree with me, but 6 runs in the bottom of the ninth to make a comeback, to send it to extra innings, and then finally walking it off at the end. It was just an unbelievable game a couple of weeks ago, one that we will not soon forget.
Yep, just one we will not soon forget. Exactly, couldn't have said it better myself, Mick. It was an offensive explosion in that bottom of the ninth inning. We'd seen it so much earlier in the season, and we had just wondered when that was going to come, if at all. In the previous game, they had been nearly shut out. It was a 6-1 loss that Hyannis had dropped in just barely 24 hours prior. They come back and drop 6 runs just in that 1/9 inning, and now we're set up for a grandstand third game here at McKeon.
And it's a little bit of an interesting situation here tonight. It's the same starting pitchers for both teams, respectively. It was Chris Kaler who'll get the bump again tonight for Cotuit, and it's going to be Zach Volker again for the Harbor Hawks in this interesting matchup to toss your same two pitchers that they've already seen, but it's in the schedule. That's who you're going to go with.
Yeah, and history shows that the more times a hitter in a lineup can see a pitcher, the more success that they have against him. So we'll see if that holds true tonight. It'll be the first couple of times that a couple of these guys have seen their respective pitchers in the opposition. But it'll be interesting to see if the pitchers were able to take some stuff from that first game.
Both allowing 1 run or fewer last time out. Volker in 3 1/3, just the 1 run. And then Kaler was in line for the win. He went 5 innings and only giving up a hit and striking out 5. So even more interesting because of how successful Kaler was against the Hawks first time that they elect to throw him again now that most of those hitters know his stuff.
Yeah, they know his stuff. However, like you talked about, has a really strong base. But on the other side, let's continue pushing on here. You have a laundry list of strong batters on both lineups.
Yeah, starting with Cam Smith, he has really come alive over these last few games or so. Coming into the game, though it looks to be 250, and you obviously want something more, he started the season out below 200. So he has really brought his average up. He's been hitting for extra bases. He's been getting hit by pitches, as most Harbor Hawks do. He's walking, and he's scoring runs. So he's become one of the most, if not the most, productive player in this Hyannis Harbor Hawks lineup over the last few games.
And I think another interesting piece in this Hyannis lineup is Austin Kelly, the left-handed hitter. He's hit second the last couple of games after taking nearly 4 or 5 days off. He's back at the top of the lineup tonight, hitting third. It'll be interesting to see what he can do.
Now let's take a look at the tail of the tape between these two teams, a statistic comparison in this situation for tonight's game. So the big one I want to highlight, and people might be asking, you have 3 categories you do, batting average, ERA, and then why hit by pitches, because these are the 2 most hit batters in the entire Cape Cod Baseball League. 25 Harbor Hawks leading, and then their second place is Cotuit with 17.
The classic batting average, ERA, and hit by pitch graphic up here on your screen right now. But it's phenomenal. It's unbelievable to see what Hyannis has done in getting hit by pitches this year. It's nothing specifically, probably. They've just been a target. It's weird.
Yeah, they've got a bit of a magnetic feel to the jersey, and I've said it a few times that none of them have really been able to cause a bruise. So even better, you get yourself on base, and it sets up. I mean, these Harbor Hawks hitters have been using it to their advantage too. It's allowing them to score more runs, and it gets them on base quicker, and you could argue that it even wins them the games.
Even wins them the game. We've got to thank our production crew for able to work that graphic in tonight, as you'll see graphics throughout our broadcast throughout the entire year. However, this is a moment to recognize we will be a one-camera broadcast here tonight due to technical difficulties out here at McKeon Park. Nothing that we can do, but we pride ourselves to get it back up and running on Sunday for our next home game. So thank you so much for bearing with us here throughout this broadcast tonight. But guys, a lot to expect for. What is one major key that you're going to look for tonight that Harbor Hawks can get and do to try and get a win?
I mean, I'm going to take one out of the page of Jacob Irons. They're going to attack early. But I mean that. I mean, this is a team that got 1 hit in 5 innings against Chris Kaler the last time out. And now that they know the stats, this is going to be a team that knows they're not going to be seeing the best of pitches the deeper they work into at bats. So it's being able to find success early on is going to be the key here. We saw it yesterday. We've seen it in the last few games. Attacking early has been the key. And, yeah, we've said it almost as many times as a broken record would, but they've seen success as much as they have been when they attack often.
Yeah, and for me, I'd love to see Zach Volker go deep into this game. Not deep in the traditional sense of what you think about major leagues. Maybe 4 more innings would be an ideal amount. He went 3 1/3 last time, 2 hits, 1 earned, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. He ran into a good amount of trouble on the base paths, but was able, to the most part, to work out of it. He did a great job, but keeping that pitch count low and able to continue to eat innings for this team is going to be huge.
And one more thing that I want to be looking for is Elijah Hainline coming in his second game, playing the shortstop role again. He's hitting number 2 in this game, right behind Cam Smith. He's going to be a really, really big, important role setter here today for them. So being able to come back out after an A game against Falmouth and able to assert some dominance up at close to the top of the lineup, going to be big for him today.
And another big thing you have to mention about is Will Taylor has found a way to be a clutch man. He had a big clutch hit last night. Again, what is it about his game right now between the two of you that think Will Taylor has that clutch gene that just makes him, you have to imagine, you can see him at that next level right now?
Yeah, he pinch hit last night, came in, had 2 massive at-bats to continue to move that conveyor belt, to continue the line moving. It was a great effort by him in a pinch hit role. Probably wasn't expecting to play too much on the night, but he really contributed to that 6-run 8th and the 2-run night that Hyannis had.
And you just said it. He isn't expecting to play, but yet he comes in and is productive. I think that's what speaks so much to him, is his mentality of being able to help the team however he can. and he helped a lot last night, getting one of those 6 runs in.
Getting one of those 6 runs in indeed. It's First Responders Night here at McKeon Park as they honor first responders and all around the Hyannis area for all that they do to help protect and serve the community. But for more, we send it to Bria Lasik.
Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen. Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
Welcome you back to McKeon Park for the Battle of Barnstable, round 3 here tonight as Cotuit and Hyannis match up. Let's go to Mickey Doolittle to see how Cotuit will line up tonight in their starting lineup.
Kalai Harrison is going to lead it off from NC State. He's playing shortstop. Ryan Galani, the number 16 from Wolford, will hit second. Tanner Thatch, the first baseman from NC State Willington. And Nicole Mathis, the designated hitter from the College of Charleston, hits cleanup. Emilian Petrie plays second and hits fifth from Kentucky. Cannon Peebles, the catcher, hits sixth from NC State. Carter Matheson plays center field from Indiana. Teo Banks, the left fielder from Tulane, hits eighth. And rounding out the lineup, it's James McCoy, the right fielder from Kentucky.
Very solid lineup for Cotuit. They'll go up against Volker, who we touched upon in the pregame here today in a big spot And conversely, let's take you through the defense of Hyannis. Let's go left to right. It'll be Taylor, Earhart, and Sirota in the outfield. Left to right in the infield, it'll be Smith, Hainline, Laurie, Kelly. And doing the catching for Volker tonight will be Donay. After a semi-off night last night, was in the DHing role, now gets behind the plate to do the squatting again.
Yeah, Donay's been seeing the ball really well with the bat in his hand, and he was awarded with the designated hitter role last night, but now he's back behind home plate. He's been playing really well defensively this year behind home plate, throwing out a whole host of runners trying to steal second. And in addition to that, he has a ton of athleticism, so he's going to block some of those balls that might go to the backstop.
And currently, Donay's on a 12-game on-base streak right now for the Harbor Hawks, as he has been able to get on base. Might not always be the hit, but he's able to work a walk and find a way on to make a contribution to the team here in any way possible.
Yeah, he's tied for the team lead with 9 walks as well, and he's been able to bring his average up as well after a slow start. So he's been a guy who's been able to get on base because of his approach changing, and he's got all of that to thank. And now he's also playing a pretty decent role behind the plate, too.
As Kalai Harrison settles in. We're about underway here at McKeon Park. 73 degrees, sunny. It's about to start to feel like summer here on Cape Cod after a couple days of
Knock on wood.
rain and more rain. We're finally getting treated to some summer weather out here in the Bay State. Volker sets, and he'll fire home. And we're underway as the pitch in for strike on Harrison.
You better knock on wood with that weather comment there.
I know.
It's going to start pouring tomorrow just because you said that.
Probably will with the weather we've been dealing with up here so far. Another pitch from Volker off the plate, now 1-1.
And Volker had a bit of a down year at Iowa, 6.18 ERA in 15 appearances, only started 2. So you look for the same kind of role for him that we saw from Hayden Frank last night. If he could get you 4 innings, as you mentioned, Mick, that would be a really, really good outing from him, considering he's a bullpen arm.
1-1 in for strike, working the outer part of the plate there.
As we see all season long, the Doolittle Iron special outside part of the plate. You guys love it out there. And now 1-2 the count. Good start from Volker.
Pitch comes, lined over to left field. Taylor doesn't even need to move. He's there positioned correctly. Will Taylor gets the first out of tonight's ball game.
Yeah, and that is the scouting department of the Hyannis Harbor Hawks at work. The baseball operations department come up with detailed reports and scouting reports on opposing teams and where their hitters will hit the ball, and just perfect positioning there for Taylor.
0-0 pitch to Galaney. He'll line that one into right center field, giving chase will be Sirota off to his moving. However, calling him off will be Earhart. Stumbling on the warning track, makes the grab.
Tough play for Zach Earhart to be making. Normally we see Will Taylor in that center field, but he's been given the night somewhat off from patrolling both sides, having to use as much range. And Zach Earhart has been now the third of 3 center fielders that we've seen being able to make some really nice rangy plays. We saw Nick Mitchell do it last night. Great work there from Earhart.
0-0 pitch to Thatch. In for strike.
I mentioned Volker in his last time out. It did come against Cotuit. 3 1/3 innings, just a 1 earned run, only 2 hits, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. He controlled the zone well last time out. He has so far here tonight.
0-1 on Thatch. Runs inside, now 1-1.
That should clean up the last time these two teams met. 0 for 5 on the day was nicely subdued.
Swing and a miss. Thatch fins on it. Now a 1-2 count here to the first baseman today for the Kettleers. Pitch off the plate. Now 2-2. The 1-2 comes home. A protect me swing that goes over by the L screen down by Cotuit. He'll fight to see another day.
Yeah, these Cotuit hitters, we saw it in the previous 2 meetings. We're seeing it right now. They love to get into a good battle and work pitchers' counts.
The 1-2 comes home. That one's going to be lined right up the middle. Trying to dive out for it is Laurie, as that one will get down and be a 2-out single for Tanner Thatch.
That is a really, really good at-bat from Thatch. He knocked some pitches out of Volker and was able to stay back on that pitch. It was in the upper third of the zone and line that one into right center field for a base hit.
And in his 10th at-bat of the season against the Harbor Hawks, that's his first hit, 0 for 4 in the first game, and last time out 0 for 5, so it got to feel good for Thatch to get off the mark against these guys.
I'll bring up Cole Mathis. That one's chopped down off over to Hainline to his glove side and flips it off over to Laurie at second base. It's a 1-2-3-4 inning as we go to the bottom of the first. Harbor Hawks picking up their bats for the first time.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevators. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking about.
Walking me back to McKeon Park. Cotuit held scoreless as they went down 1-2-3-4. Let's hear how the Hyannis Harbor Hawks stack it up.
Cam Smith once again back in the leadoff role. He plays third base today. We get to see Elijah Hainline, as mentioned. We saw him with the 6'4" fielder's choice to end the inning. He plays shortstop at second. Austin Kelly slots into the third spot today, back at first. Has played a solid first base over the last few games. And Mike Sirota slots into the cleanup role, hitting pretty well on the year so far in limited at-bats. He got here a little late. He plays right field. Brody Donay back behind the plate hits fifth. Will Taylor, as we mentioned, is in left field as opposed to center today. He bats sixth. Alex Lane out of Northeastern will do the designated hitting and bats seventh. And to round out the bottom two will be Zach Earhart playing center and Brad Key Loring playing second and batting ninth.
Chris Kaler comes back onto the bump like we touched upon earlier this year. It was a 2.25 ERA through his 2 games played. Both of them were starts. Looking to go here so far today. Cam Smith, the hottest bat right now for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, settles in to lead it off. Pitch comes. It's going to be lined directly into center field. Matheson laying out for it and will make the grab. Attacking the first pitch early, Smith was, and that one just went right to the glove of Matheson.
Smith has been hitting the heck out of the ball recently, and that was no exception. That was lined into center field. I love to see an exit velocity on that one.
Yeah, same, and that's just baseball sometimes. Sometimes you're just going to hit it a little bit too hard. As that one hung up there for Smith, he can't be upset with the quality of contact despite the out.
0-0 pitch goes wide on Elijah Hainline, the shortstop today. Newer addition for the Harbor Hawks out of Washington State as he swings and misses there. 1-1.
He played a good shortstop, did Hainline, against Falmouth in his only other appearance of the season so far. Went 0 for 4 at the dish, but played a really solid shortstop out in the field. Yeah, he made a few difficult plays. As we've talked about, it's tough slotting in and knowing the types of communication between the other players, but fundamentally very sound in his first game against Falmouth.
2-1 pitch comes home. In for strike on Hainline. Hainline still looking for that first hit of the summer, went 0 for 4 against Falmouth a couple days ago. The 2-2. Down in the dirt, loading the count full. Pitch coming from Kaler. Foul back into the netting. We'll do it again full, and that's something that we saw so well from the Harbor Hawks yesterday and time again, is that they are able to work quality ABs.
And that's what Hainline did against Falmouth, despite not getting any credit for it.
3-2, Chopper off over to Harrison on his glove side, making the move on the run, makes it. Harrison retires Hainline on the putout.
That was a great play by Harrison to his left, his glove side, reached down on a little bit of a weird hop. He fielded it in a weird in-between point, came up with it, and on the run delivered a strike across the infield, showing off his arm strength.
And he was shielded a little bit over to that third base side, so there was a bit more of a gap up that middle, and Harrison made up a lot of ground in quite some time.
That one's popped up and out of play directly behind us here in the Tim Elstrom Broadcast Center. Kelly pops up another one. 0-2.
Kelly only has 2 hits on the season, but both of them have been huge as they've driven in runs, each of them, as we saw last night against Harwich, and then we saw it in this fixture a few weeks ago as he drove in 2 with just 1 swing.
Ball in the dirt on Kelly. Now 1-2 here. Kelly out of Lipscomb. That one's popped up to center field, a mile high into the air. Matheson coming in, calling off McCoy. They'll retire. It's 1-2-3. We go to the second, still scoreless here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Diet Coke? Were you my mom?
You should be so lucky, because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about. Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it, did it better, and she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
Yeah, we remain scoreless here at McKeon Park through 1 inning as we go to the top of the second here. We talked about it in the beginning of the show. Series tied in the Battle of Barnstable, 1 apiece after they played a home-and-home yesterday, or last week, excuse me. Almost feels like yesterday for these two teams, as there has been some of the biggest games they've had with the intensity and the drama that has ensued with both games here, as fans have come in, piled up, as the Battle of Barnstable holding true with the fans as well.
Yeah, it always draws a huge crowd. Like, these bleachers are pretty full right now here in Hyannis. It's a rivalry game. It kind of reminds you a little bit of how Fenway and Yankee Stadium get pretty full for Red Sox Yankees. So it's definitely a huge local rivalry that a lot of people care about.
And not only that, I mean, we're getting towards July. The closer you get to July, the more it feels like summer. So everybody making their way up to Cape Cod is also going to be helping this fixture as well. One that is one of, if not the best, on all the Cape.
Now a million. Petre settles into the box. That one off the plate there. 1-0. We'll have Jay Driver on his last day up here on Cape Cod join us in the 4th inning to talk about all that comes, as that one goes off the plate again, 2-0.
How nice of him. He's been up here for a year and a half now, a summer and a half, and to be able to give us an inning of time, very cool of him.
2-0 from Volker in for strike. man that's very popular. Had an interview today earlier with Harvard. So guys getting all throughout the media today as he'll come up and join us in a little bit as the 2-1 from Volker comes home. That one's going to be chopped right up the middle. Laurie off to his right side, fires in time to make the out.
Yeah, Driver not a guy that's half bad at baseball either.
He most certainly is not one of those star pitchers that you are excited to see play at that next level. It's not an if he gets drafted, it's a when he gets drafted right now with Driver. Especially with all the movement he has in his pitches. He's just one of those top tier pitchers right now.
And as Mickey said, just one of those guys who's just still so down to earth despite his trajectory and where he's going is just so awesome to be able for him to give us just a little bit of time.
Breaking ball from Volker at 75 miles an hour. Touches the top of the zone, no call. As Cannon Peebles settles in. The 1-0. Upstairs and touching this time, now 1-1. Peebles out of NC State was an ABCA Atlantic All-Region second-team member as the designated hitter. It's the 1-1, fouled right back into the netting. Here tonight as game within the game already taking action between the two bat kids for Cotuit and Hyannis. The 1-1 home. Breaking ball in, they caught him looking. Zach Volker with his first strikeout of the day on the 78-mile-an-hour breaking ball.
And now that's a nice little bit of testament there to Brody Donay's work. He brought that one back towards the inside corner. It could have been a little bit close, but that's what comes with the art of defensive catching these days. Framing is so huge, and he brought that one back onto the inside corner to get that second out. Really great work from Donay, who has improved massively as the season has gone on. Not just offensively, but as you saw there on the defensive side.
1-0 here on Carter Matheson, the center fielder. 1-0 in for strike out of Indiana University and from Fort Wayne, just home to the Tin Caps, minor league affiliate. Beautiful stadium Fort Wayne has. As the 1-1 comes home from Volker, swing and a miss.
I thought you were asking about a college. I was
No.
like,
Well, they also have the Purdue Fort Wayne. Macedons.
Come on.
Macedons.
Are you serious right now?
Mm-hmm. The 1-2 comes home. That's going to be Chopper off over to Laurie. Fields it off the 2-hop in time to retire the third.
Just unfair.
Volker works out of it. We go to the bottom of the second. Still scoreless in the Battle of Barnstable.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevators. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen.
Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
Thank you so much. We welcome you back here. We go to the bottom of the second. Now it's time for the standings update. Let's send it on over to Mickey Doolittle.
Yeah, so in the East right now, YD paces the East right now at 9-6-1 with 19 points, but not far behind them is Harwich at 9-6. One of those 6, a loss to the
Harbor Hawks.
Harbor Hawks.
Thank you.
With 18 points, they're just a point behind. Orleans 7-9, football record right there.
Yeah.
With 14 points, no longer a football record. Brewster and Chatham round out the East with 14 and 9 points respectively.
Sirota settles in. He'll look at a strike.
And just a note on the East, last night every single team lost from the Eastern Division.
Now the 0-1. Pitch off the plate, now 1-1. And then conversely, because 10 teams, 5-5, everybody in the West won last night.
Could only mean everyone in the West won. We'll start it after this.
1-1, swing and a miss.
Cotuit winning, and they are pacing still. They're pacing the whole league with a league best 22 points, 11-5 their record, and it gets a little bit clogged up right after them for 2, 3, and 4.
The 1-2 to Sirota. Foul tipped it, keeps his at-bat alive.
Wareham-born Hyannis goes 18, 17, 17 respectively in terms of points. 8, 6, and 2 for Wareham, 8, 7, and 1 for Bourne, and just one less game separates them and Bourne in Hyannis. 8, 6, and 1 is their record.
1-2 to Sirota. Fades away into the other's batter's box.
So just that one more game, and if they win it, they'll be on top up in second place and bringing up the rear of Falmouth at 4, 10, and 2. They sit with 10 points.
2-2. That's going to get lined and will be foul. Just missing the chalk down the left field line. Sirota tried to turn on it. Saw a hit like that last night where he went up and grabbed it and put it almost in that similar place. This one rolls foul, though. As the 2-2 pitch from Kettleers comes home to Sirota. Off the plate, loading the count full.
That log jam in the middle of the West right now kind of reminds you of the top of the West last year where Bourne, Cotuit, and Hyannis were all within 3 points of each other.
3-2 away. Sirota works an opening walk to begin the bottom of the second.
Of course, Bourne ended up winning the West last year. Cotuit in second with 51 points, and just a point behind them, Hyannis with 50. But of course, Hyannis ended up getting the last laugh with a 3-game series win.
Now they'll settle in Brody Donay, the catcher, out of Virginia Tech. They'll check back Sirota, who steps in to first.
And we talked about his team leading 9 walks in the top of the first. He also leads the team in slugging percentage, sitting right around 500, 486 to be exact. Has the 1 home run on the season to go along with 5 RBIs.
Donay looks at a strike. Was an all-ACC freshman team. And batted 260 in a tough Atlantic Coast Conference. If you can make an instant impact as a freshman, you know you're going to be able to stick around. The 0-1. Pitch away.
And his approach at the plate has gotten a lot better since coming up on the Cape. He's taking a lot more selective at bats. After the first few games, you wouldn't have think that this was a guy who'd be leading the team in walks, but becoming a lot more selective and choosing the pitches when he sees it.
1-1 comes home. Sirota takes a step off. He swings and misses. And if you haven't listened to, I would go urge everyone to go listen to the Early Bird podcast with Josh Schreiber, Nico Sharp, and Grant McNor, producers, and they touched upon how well Brody Donay has adjusted at the start of the year. Didn't necessarily have that bat, but now finding his bat, just giving him a couple more at-bats and getting those time as Peoples able to scoop it up out of the dirt, keep it in front of him. 2-2.
And getting more at-bats allows you to see pitches better, especially, you know, he came from a tough ACC conference, but this is just a whole new level. The Cape is made up of all-star teams.
2-2. Swing and a miss from Donay for the first out of the bottom of the second.
Not sure he was looking fastball there. He was way late on that swing, and by the time he had swung, that ball was well past him. So you can credit the sequence there from Chris Kettleers to be able to fool Brody Donay, who's been a very tough out over the last few weeks on that one. Good work from him.
Now Will Taylor, the left fielder today, out of Clemson. Taylor will check back. Sirota stepping in again. Taylor, we've touched upon it so far this season. Two-way guy, plays football over at Clemson for Dabo Sweeney, as well as a very solid wide receiver himself. Has a touchdown and 5 receptions, as that one's going to be pulled foul and down the left field foul line and out of play.
Can also play a heck of a center field, as we've seen so far on the Cape. I've mentioned it so much that the first step for a center fielder is so important, and it's almost as if he knows where the pitch is going to be going before it's even hit. That first step's so important, especially with the speed he has, too. He patrols center field up there with the best of them.
0-1 off the plate. Now 1-1, and he became the first Tiger football player to play baseball at Clemson since DJ Reader from 2013, who now currently plays for the Bengals. As the 1-1 to Taylor. That one's going to be golfed into right center field. Dropping will be Matheson, and he'll be able to get there in time. One started to drop there and just got caught in the air. Didn't really have too much more carry.
Yeah, kind of hung up a little bit too long there. A lot of those hits that you see to the outfield that feel like they hang up for a long time are backspinned out there. There's balls that will be backspinned and topspinned. Of course, the top spins will dive a little bit earlier.
Lane, the designated hitter, now settling into the box after Kaler has his eyes set on Sirota right now. The start of every at-bat, he is making sure to keep tabs on him.
He sees his offense running all over oppositions.
That pitch missing. 1-0.
Might as well keep an eye on the opposition's run game.
It's one of those things. We do it so we know other teams can do it. Might as well be in defense of it. 1-0. Swing and a miss from Lane, now 1-1. Lane out of Northeastern, all CAA first team. 1-1. Down below the knees.
And Lane's a guy on this Harbor Hawks team that I feel is very underappreciated. What he can do with the bat in his hand, come in pinch hit opportunities, he DHs, he plays a solid first base. He's a guy that does a lot.
Sirota in motion, pitch upstairs, the throw not in time. Sirota's going to be able to steal a bag and put himself in scoring position with 2 away.
Looked really close. The throw reaches the second
3-1 count here.
Second baseman Petre, sorry Jacob, it reached Petre on a bounce, and Sirota's got speed, but it was a good throw from Cannon Peebles. It was really, really close in there. He must have just gotten that lead foot in ahead of the tag.
Kaler comes home on the 3-1 to Lane. Off the plate, Lane works a walk. Now 2 on for Zach Earhart.
It's a really good at-bat from Lane, who laid off a couple of really nice borderline pitches.
As Zach Earhart still looking for his first hit of the summer here in this one.
You can credit Lane there with just knowing that the pitcher was slightly distracted, and he knew that maybe because of Sirota's speed over there distracting Kaler a little bit, that isn't quite going to come off in terms of the pitches that he wants.
Pitch in for a strike on Earhart. Earhart out of Oklahoma State. Now in the 0-1, healthy swing and miss from Earhart. He's behind in the count 0-2. Has been able to bring in an RBI so far on the season. 0-2, popped up, out of play, and into the area where they're keeping all the fire trucks here on First Responders Night. You have a couple fire trucks, you have a couple ambulances, there's a Bearcat out there. They made sure to bring in all the goods for the kids here. They want to go look at a nice first responder car.
A Bearcat?
Yeah, it's like a SWAT vehicle.
Oh. Okay.
They'll check back Sirota. Coming over is Petre.
I thought that was an actual animal out there.
Oh, I did too. And MK, our director of events, was telling me about it. I thought it was a Bearcat as well. I thought, oh, we're going Cincinnati here.
That's good that I wasn't alone.
0-2 misses away. off the plate now, 1-2. I thought it was an animal too until she explained to me that it was a SWAT vehicle and an upper scale police vehicle.
Do you know about this?
No, no. I'm over here sitting. I thought I was going to be alone here, but I'm feeling good.
Good.
That
No, we all thought about it. I just got read in a little quicker. The 1-2. In above the knees on Zach Earhart. He goes down swinging. We go to the third.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle, up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. PlantBottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor. It's a sign that this is a business you can trust. Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
Are you interested in learning more about the Hyannis Harbor Hawks? Well, we got the podcast for you, the Early Bird Pod, hosted by our directors and producers, Grant McNew, Josh Schreiber, and Nico Sharp, breaking it all down on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can find that podcast anywhere where you get your podcast, on Spotify and YouTube, right where you're watching this game right here. You can find it right there, as well as the three of them break it all down, and they give weekly awards too. You might want to find out who won the Scary Award this week, as that one is a very good award, I will have to say, by Grant McNew, is able to give it out. Stumped a couple of the producers on there about who it was going to. So very excited to have that become a part of our repertoire here at the Harbor Hawks Media. But we move on to the third. Still scoreless in the Battle of Barnstable.
We got a lot of good stuff coming out. We got
now you have your Cam Smith interview.
Inside the Nest coming out. Get a look at the players and their lives maybe off the field or their baseball lives outside of the Harbor Hawks.
Trey Lipsy soon to follow, and then maybe even a little coach's report kind of segment coming up in the future as well.
Alker looks at throws a pitch into Teo Banks, the left fielder, and then you also have Brielasic breaking down all of the analytics that have become such a large part of Cape Cod baseball. That will be coming out in the next couple days as well. She explains it all down. As the 0-1, that one's going to be lined directly and into the glove. Off to his right side is Hainline, trying to throw in time, pulling off Kelly off the bag. Kelly doing a great job to glove it there, just to preserve it from not getting away from him, to allow Banks to move. Great play by Hainline there, just to even go make a play. That one was thought to be directly up the middle.
And yeah, that's an underrated play from Kelly, just straying off the bag. He knows that throw gets by, and Banks is on to second. So keeping that runner at first is a big play there, despite him reaching in the first place.
Now James McCoy, the 9-hole hitter, settles into the box, but it'll be a check back from Volker over to Banks. Says, now with a runner on, you're going to have to be vigilant if you are a Harbor Hawks pitcher the rest of the way. We saw it last time they were here. They are active on the base paths.
Banks had taken one step off the bag, and then Volker throw over, and he just kind of calmly stepped back.
Pitch inside to McCoy, the right fielder. Batting .285 so far on the season out of Kentucky. That will be chopped down and into right field. It'll be station to station for Banks, and McCoy gets on safely with a single. 2 on, nobody away here in the top of the third for Cotuit.
Yeah, Banks, a guy that you need to keep a lot of attention on. In that first Cotuit Hyannis game, he did steal a base. So Hyannis maybe learning from their mistake a little bit, keeping extra attention on him, but McCoy doing a good job of finding a hole there.
The 1-0 pitch comes home, bunt shown. That's going to get down, and beautiful placement by Harrison. No throw. He'll be able to get down the line safely. It's not going to be bases loaded. Nobody away for Cotuit. Working small ball in their favor.
Yeah, I was just about to mention before you said it that their style of play with all the small ball going on, that you wouldn't be surprised to see a bunt or maybe even runners in motion there as well. But not the bunt came down and it was to absolute perfection.
Now Galaney with bases loaded. Still nobody away here in the third. Volker trying to work out of the jam. Chopper foul. Down by the Harbor Hawks bullpen. Volker out of the University of Iowa and from Granite Bay, California.
Hey-o.
He's a 2022 Cape League All-Star, had a 1.97 ERA through 11 games pitched. He comes home with the 0-1 away, now 1-1.
Shout out Granite Bay. But the Hyannis defense is moved back right now, so they're not going to come home with it. They're going to try and turn 2.
1-1. That one's going to get lined and get through the gap between Laurie and Kelly. Scoring will be Banks. Roberts will hold. McCoy at third. And the Kettleers strike first.
Yeah, just a little nubber through the right side of the infield in between that hole between Laurie and Kelly. Not hit very hard, but again, Cotuit's bat control is so good.
Now Thatch will come up. Bases loaded here. In for a strike on Tanner Thatch, who was singled back in the first, but was retired as the third out on the fielder's choice in Mathis at bat. 0-1. Pulled foul down by the back kids.
So now Smith is going to come in from his third base position. His toes are on the grass, but the middle infield is at double play depth.
Oh-2, coming home. Pitch upstairs now 1-2. Talked about in that 0-2 situation, you have a little bit more leeway if you're Volker to try and see if he will go and chase. One, two. Inside. You have to look at McCoy here. He is dancing off of third base in those at-bats, trying to pull the righty Volker's attention in that spot. That one's going to be ripped, but pulled foul down by Cotuit.
Yeah, that's a guy that's no stranger to these high leverage situations, a freshman All-American, all-rookie CAA, and an honorable mention in the CAA all-conference team.
2-2, Chopper, right side, Kelly will come home. Donay not able to hold on to it as McCoy will be able to score.
Yeah, so what happened there is Kelly got a high chopper. It was hit decently hard at him, so he decided to come home, and the throw skipped into Donay. Donay did a good job of fielding it. He was able to hold on to it, but in doing so, in that slide move over to try and get in front of it, his foot came off of the plate, and Hyannis unable to get the run at home.
Pitching coach Luxus now out here to have a conversation with Volker. No motion right now in the bullpen for Hyannis.
Yeah, it is a good play by Donay because the throw wasn't quite there by Kelly now Donay has to stray off the plate just to keep that ball in front of him and prevent another run from scoring. So while It's not what you want. Regardless, though, it isn't what you want to see because that's a chance to get a really big out. And then if they get that out, a ground ball could end the inning. So a missed opportunity there on the defensive side.
Still nobody away here in this top of the third. Cotuit has come out and answered here in this third.
And here comes Cole Mathis, who homered in that first game.
Still bases loaded. Pitch upstairs. One and 0 here.
2 for 3 game for him in that first game.
1-0. That one's launched a mile into left field as that thing is out of here. Cotuit and Cole Mathis launch a grand slam to break this one wide open. They now lead 6-0. Still nobody away here in the top of the third.
Yeah, and that is just how you would like to start an inning if you're Cotuit. 6 straight hits. And this game has been blown wide open early.
And the home run is the first extra base hit in this entire endeavor as the pitch missing for Petre. They were all singles. It was a single.
Yep.
It was a single to Banks. It was a single to McCoy. Single to Galaney as the 1-0 upstairs and away. And then a single to Thatch. And then just Cole Mathis was able to barrel it up and get the sweet spot and send it over the left field wall.
And I feel like I'm exhausting this statement over and over again, but I got to say it again. This is Cotuit's MO.
Yeah. As that one misses 3-0.
They just hit you with these great bat control, with their great bat control, able to dump hits where fielders aren't.
3-0 away. That's going to be a walk.
And then after that, they're able to come back with home runs and extra base hits, and it just is such a deadly combination. And Cotuit showing it off right here.
Right now they have 6 runs on 6 hits so far. Cannon Peebles, the catcher, struck out looking back in the second.
And it just makes that error by on the first batter of the inning by Hainline so costly because they make that first out and you have no idea how the rest of the inning goes there. And with some of those bases loaded situations, just a ground ball gets you out of the inning.
That one will get a piece of Peebles. That'll be 18 for them on the year. And he works down. And now this will bring up the 9th batter in this top of the third. Still nobody away here at McKeon Park as an arm beginning to get loose as it's Hiro Yamada down the line starting to get it, but this is going to be Volker's inning, it appears, to try and get an out in. That one missing on Matheson.
Yeah, again, if you can get a little more length out of him, get through this inning, able to save an arm a little bit longer, that'd be huge for Hyannis.
1-0. Found back into the netting. Volker comes home. Breaking ball missing. 2-1 here is Volker still trying to find it out here for Hyannis as they're trying to work out of this lengthy top of the third. That one finds the zone. Matheson last time in the second, grounded out over to Laurie. That one's going to be lined and through and by Kelly. They'll get the wave. It's going to be Petrie's trying to come home, but applying the tag will be Donay. A great relay from Sirota in from right field to Donay to deny another one.
That was an absolute strike out from right field with Sirota. Saving a run, perfect one-hop throw that beat the runner to the plate by a mile.
Runners now on the corners, though. Peebles will be able to make it over. Teo Banks, who started this with a single earlier in the inning. Comes back up. That one's chopped. Down over to Hainline. Fielding it and tossing it over to Laurie. It's a double play to work out of the jam. However, it's 6-run for Cotuit. We go to the bottom of the third here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevators. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen.
Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
Cotuit scores 6 in the top of the third. We now move to the bottom of the third. That will be 9-1-2 for the Harbor Hawks as they get their second time to look at Caleb.
Yeah, and Cotuit in that previous inning do what they do best, bat control, finding holes in the defense, and then when it matters the most, big home runs that go a mile and a half, as that one looked like it cleared the front row of trees out in left field for Cole Mathis, who has a ton of power and just put it on display right there.
But now you have to look at this, come back if you're Hyannis and say, well, this is a situation we've been in before. We recognize this as something that we've done before. So lots of baseball left to be played, and bearing in mind that they've come back from a deficit of this size against this team before is something that they need to be able to channel here.
1-0 to Laurie. In for a strike. Bradkey Laurie at second base today has had his fair share of action. Already has registered 3 putouts through 2.5. He fans on that one. It's now 1-2. One, two. Pitch upstairs by Laurie's eyes.
We talked about it a couple of times, but Bradkey Laurie hitting ninth, kind of in that second leadoff role, possesses a lot of speed, good on-base ability.
Laurie's able to pull that one into the left center field gaps. Banks off to his glove side, makes the grab. One retired.
And now you come in against Kaler. This is the second time through the order here, and this is also maybe like the more like the 4th or 5th time that some of these players are seeing Kaler. So you have to bear in mind that they have to bear that in mind and now come through with this game with a completely different approach.
0-0 pitch to Smith as the lineup turns over. That one's popped up into foul territories. Peebles was giving it a look, but is not there.
All I'm saying is it took 1 inning last time out. And same exact deficit, and they've got 7 right now. Well, 6 2/3.
Plenty of baseball still to be played here at McKeon Park as the 0-1 in for strike on Cam Smith. Talked about that's what Hyannis has been good at, is trying to retaliate, as the 0-2 is going to be chopped off over to Galaney. Picks it up and fires in time for the putout.
Took a bit of a tricky hop there. Was able to field it in, keep his shoulders in front of it. It's what every coach will tell you to do. Square your shoulders to the ball, get your hips in front of it, start low with your glove, then come up into it, and that's exactly what he did.
Elijah Hainline, shortstop. Settles in to look at a ball last time up. Grounded over to Harrison at short. 1-0, touching the outer part of the plate. 1-1 to Hainline.
Infield play him to pole just a little bit. Second baseman Petrie over to the left.
That one's going to be gloved by Galaney at third. Fires over off the spin. In time. Galaney making an athletic play at third base. Retires the Harbor Hawks in order. We go to the fourth.
Diet Coke? Were you my mom?
You should be so lucky. Because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about? Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it, did it better, and she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
Welcome back to McKeon Park. So happy to have you with us here. And we got a special guest joining us in the broadcast booth, as it's the Harvard man himself, Jay Driver, is able to sit in on his last day here up on the Cape.
Yes, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate the invite back. It's an honor.
Yeah, he already joined us earlier this year. You know you got to be good when you get the invite back. Yeah. You're pretty solid.
Yeah. I guess it could mean that. Yeah, I'll take it as that.
Absolutely.
Hiro Yamada, the new pitcher, out on the bump here for the Harbor Hawks. You even brought your own water. You knew that you might be talking a little bit here.
I had to make sure my voice was in tip-top shape.
Tip-top shape
for this appearance.
6-0 Cotuit leading Hyannis right now. And Michael, I will start with you on your question. You look like you were prepared there.
I mean, this guy out on the mound, what's it like having him, Hiro, in the dugout? Seems to be a fun guy to be around, right?
Yeah, he's got great energy, man. He, came from the same JUCO as Riku last year, but he's always cracking jokes, always in a good mood. And also, I mean, he's a great guy. He's looking to learn new things, pick up new pitches, and he's a hard worker too. So, it's great to have him in the dugout with us.
Always looks to be talking with somebody. One of the coaches with BJ talked about maybe a grip or two, and yeah, seems to be having himself a fun time in the dugout, regardless of whether or not it's coaches with you guys. Seems like a fun guy to be around, to say the least.
0-0 pitch to McCoy.
He definitely is. He likes to have a good time. That mic'd up video was so funny that they did. That was great.
Oh, yeah.
That describes him perfectly.
The 1-0 from Yamada to McCoy. Fanned on it. And so you're a returner. You came back here for a second summer. What does the experience to be here in Hyannis mean to you?
I mean, it's so special. The team, the community, just being able to come back and be a part of it again has been a blessing. I had a great summer last year. I think not only was it memorable in terms of the friends I made and the games we won, but also a very valuable learning experience for me as a player.
Swing and a miss down in the dirt. Donay pops up with it and fires down in time for the K-2-3.
But yeah, I mean, they let me come back, and I was just happy to be here. I was taking whatever I could get. Obviously, it's for a bit of a shorter time this summer, but anything I could get back in McKeon Park, I would take happily.
As Yamato will now look at Harrison as the Cotuit Kettleers turn over their lineup. Yamato pitches and deals off the plate.
6-0 hole here to Cotuit. This sounds like a familiar situation.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah,
we were just touching upon
just
it.
talking about it, that this is a team that in you guys that has come back from it before, so that's got to be, you'd think would be the mindset in the dugout now, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it's early on in the game, so I think everybody understands that there's, whatever, 6, 7 more chances to hit, so plenty of time. Can't get it all back in one swing. Obviously, for them, that grand slam was helpful, but no, yeah, just chip away one by one, put together good at-bats, go out there on the mound and treat it like it's a 0-0 game, to go out there and do your job, shut it down, keep it here.
It's something you guys have seen. I know now you're a pitcher, but you obviously hear about the mindsets from the players, is that you guys are able to get base runners on, string hits together very well.
That one's chopped over to Kelly at first base. He'll take it himself to get over there in time. 2 away here in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that no lead is too big. Obviously, I think being able to just, focus on your next at-bat, focus on the next innings, and like I said, try to chip away. Yeah, I think the hitters do a great job with that, and similarly, I think the pitchers, the bullpen especially, obviously doing a good job of holding it down, not allowing the lead to extend.
Angelini settles in. He looks at a ball.
I think like what I was realizing when we played Harwich last night, I think obviously, everybody has bad outings, but I think sometimes in the bullpen we've done a good job of not letting the innings where the walks pile up get to us. Firing strikes, trying to work ahead. Sometimes pitching to contact is not the worst strategy. Yeah. Sometimes, when you're out there on the mound, you don't feel like you have your best stuff. Sometimes pitching to contact, looking to get, weak contact or mix up your pitches.
1-2 clobber down, and it'll be a foul ball down the left field line. Just cut in to foul territory.
Hero's got some good hair. They asked me the other day who has the best hair on the team. I said Hero.
Hero?
Yeah, nice. I said Hero.
No one else? No, does anyone even contend with him?
I love Ethan Lanthier's mullet.
Okay.
That was a close second for me.
Brody Donay's got a nice flow going underneath that catcher's helmet too.
He's got some good flow. Yeah. That's for sure. He does.
Well, 1-2. Imana fires home. Chopper off over to Smith, coming in on it, fielding it across the diamond in time. 5-3 put out. It's a 1-2-3 inning. You saying for the bottom?
I'll say if you let me say.
All right.
Oh,
Jay Driver sticking with us. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Cotuit leading 6-0.
We all have obstacles, challenges at different points in life. I still push myself every single day, and the harder I push myself, the more I find myself drawn to wearing UFOs. The first time I put on a pair of UFOs, it was like someone released the pressure. It was so crazy. When you are recovered and can do more, that has a compounding effect on all aspects of your life. Stepping into a pair of UFOs, they're truly one of a kind. There's nothing like them.
Best ever? Good question. Wait, why do you sound like Dr. J in your head? I've always sounded like Dr. J in my head, which means Dr. J's outside voice sounds like my inside voice? Which Coke? The doc would know. He got the world to call him doctor without going to med school. There's only one best ever.
As we welcome you back here to McKeon Park. 6-0 Cotuit leads. Hyannis picking up the bats here to get their turn at the bottom of the 4th. Our own Joshua Schreiber down in the pie eating contest. Jay, have you participated in the pie eating contest yet this year?
I have not, no.
Oh, and you're going to walk out of here scot-free.
Yeah, I can't say that was on my to-do list. Just I did not want the blueberry pie all over my face throughout the game, but it does look fun.
Yeah, that's a Hero special.
Exactly. I'll leave that to him.
Exactly. Exactly.
As we welcome you back here, 6-0. Good crowd on here. Talking to Jay Driver as Austin Kelly will be able to pull that one over to first base. Thatch is able to corral it himself to put one away here.
We got a nice night here finally. The rain stopped now. We got some beautiful weather for baseball.
We were talking about it here at the beginning of this broadcast. It's now finally starting to feel like a little bit of summer out here on Cape Cod today.
I agree. Yeah, the rain has been crazy. And it seems like even when we've played, it's rained in the morning, so it feels a little weird. But today, beautiful day all around, and it's an idyllic baseball night.
They knew they knew you were leaving. They needed to give you one nice night before you
Exactly.
got out of here.
Yeah, I told them there was two things if I left. One, yeah, the nice night, but two, as long as they hung up 23 on the scoreboard, retired the number.
Yep. We'll be working on it.
I can leave if I know that no one else will wear that ever again.
I can put in a word. I've got a few game day ops guys I can talk to.
Mike Sirota settles in.
No, yeah, I like to get the number over again. I'm going to try to see if I can figure out a way to buy a jersey that says 23 on or something like that. Because I got to obviously have something to remember my time with the Hawks.
Allen's pulled foul and out of play. 2-2 here. How you talk about it, it's been memorable for you. How have those bonds, you talk about Sirota, a guy that also came back.
Yeah.
You talked about it, you touched upon those bonds. Those bonds already seem like they are lasting a lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to have people come back. You hung out with them last summer, see them again. But, yeah, like, summer baseball is funny because you can spend every day with a player. We're here 6-8 hours a day at the field, and then all of a sudden at the end of the summer you might never see them again, which is sad, but it's part of the game. So, yeah, to have guys come back is great. And then also just, you might cross paths them down the line again. So having that baseball network be big is great, too.
Donay fouls it into the box after Sirota went down swinging. So you attend Harvard. I have to imagine your time management skills have to be superb with what you have to work on both sides of the ball.
I like to think that. No, yeah, I think you're kind of forced to learn that skill in just the sense that there's a lot of work and baseball and everything to manage.
Yeah.
Keep making sure your body's feeling okay and getting extra work done in the classroom, whatever it might be. So I think that's just a force of habit, something I've had to learn in order to survive and make my way there.
0-2 to Dene. He swings and misses.
Another quick one.
Yeah. Another quick one. Another 1-2-3. You got to thank Jay Driver for coming up to the booth, man.
Thank you guys for having me.
We can't wish you all the best here. You've been always been
guys.
very kind to us up here in the production
No,
route,
I appreciate you guys. If I have time before the broadcast cuts out, but thank you to all you guys behind the scenes too, making this really special. I appreciate it a lot. It's been great.
Thank you, Jay. Cotuit leading 6-0 here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
We all have obstacles, challenges at different points in life. I still push myself every single day, and the harder I push myself, the more I find myself drawn to wearing UFOs. The first time I put on a pair of UFOs, it was like someone released the pressure. It was so crazy. When you are recovered and can do more, that has a compounding effect on all aspects of your life. Stepping into a pair of UFOs, they're truly one of a kind. There's nothing like them.
Best ever? Good question. Wait, why do you sound like Dr. J in your head? I've always sounded like Dr. J in my head, which means Dr. J's outside voice sounds like my inside voice? Which Coke? The doc would know. He got the world to call him doctor without going to med school. There's only one best ever.
Well, welcome you back here to McKeon Park. Cotuit still leading 6-0. Just had Jay Driver in the booth. What a class act he is. A great guy, a great baseball player, but even a better person. Comes up and gives us all this availability, and always is nice to talk to him and have that conversation.
Cut so short too. That's
I know.
2 times now. He's been up with us 2 times, and we could keep him for the whole game if we really could. And both times he's just been cut so short by quick innings. It's almost like they know what's going on up here.
It's our guest curse so far on this year.
I
If
know.
you've been a regular of this broadcast, if we've ever welcomed anyone special onto the broadcast, it normally goes a 1-2-3 inning. And then if we try and push you to then the bottom half, say, no, hold on, let's stick around, let's keep you a little bit longer, it then normally goes to a 1-2-3.
If Hyannis is, in the top of the 9th, they got a 1-run lead or something, we should bring somebody in. We should see, who wants to come in and guess just for an inning, just so Hyannis can get out of it unscathed and quickly.
It is the work as we now push on to the 5th. Yamada back out for a second inning of work now as it's a swing and miss from Thatch as he's been able to reach base both times so far today. Singles in the 1st and in the 3rd. Not a high kick and fires off the plate.
A lot of these Kettleers have been able to reach base at least once, maybe twice.
Pitch in and down low, 2-1. Here on Thatch. Thatch comes in with 243 batting average with 2 home runs. That one's popped a mile into the sky, doesn't get too far. It's into shallow center field. Dropping back will be Hainline. He makes the grab on the pop-up.
Yeah, Hainline, a really good defender. We're going to see that in the next couple of weeks as we get to know him a little bit more, but nothing but praise for his glove from this baseball ops team.
That'll be Cole Mathis, who launched that grand slam back in the 3rd to get 4 more across for Cotuit. That one missing off. Hey, Harborhawks fans, did you know the NAC Cape Cod is the official Light Up the Park sponsor of the Hyannis Harborhawks all season long? Thanks to the NAC, the lights at McKeon Park stay bright all summer as the future stars take the field. Visit the NAC Cape Cod to order online today. 1-1 down in the dirt, now 2-1.
You guys were back at the NAC the other day.
We were. I was very fortunate when we went golfing the other day that we were able to go. As that one's going to get lined and get into left field. Taylor will pick up the slow grounder. Mathis reaching base off the single.
The one time I didn't come golfing with
I
you
know.
guys.
We
I would have loved to hit the NAC.
I know. That one, it was just, we finished so late golfing that you needed lunch before we had to go to the game. And what better place than the NAC? A very good fast casual restaurant. Order right at the window. Get your food. Has some stellar shakes. It's awesome.
What'd you get?
I got the avocado burger.
Okay.
Never misses there.
Never.
Very solid. As the production team knows, big avocado guy I am.
Were we at Wareham that day? Or Bourne?
Nothing pitch. In for a strike. No, we weren't. Where were we going?
I think we were at Bourne.
No, we were at Falmouth.
We were at Falmouth.
Yeah, that was earlier this week we went. Yeah. 0-1 to Yamada. Runner set in motion. It's a foul ball. Mathis got a solid jump on it.
Donay would have had a chance at him, though.
He would have.
Jacob, did you get your signature lemonade with you?
I did.
No way.
They have house-made. They have house-made.
Oh, that actually sounds
That is
lemonade. It was really good.
That sounds
stunning. Jacob Irons and got a lemonade. I like it. It's your thing.
It
It's
is
your
my
brand.
thing. The 0-2.
Minute Maid guy?
I'll answer after this pitch as that one's going to be clobbered and gets through after Hainline was shading off over to the bag. As Mathis was in motion. Now 2 away with 2 singles. So I'm a Minute Maid guy. I will drink Minute Maid. However, I would prefer something that is a little more homemade or something like that. I like a sour lemonade. So for listeners at home, whenever we go out to eat, which we normally go out after every game, just because of our schedules and no one wants to cook whenever we get back, I always order a lemonade, and it's now become this thing. And they all find it hilarious that I always order a lemonade. But
Has none of your other friends said that?
No, they have taken notice, as that one has swung and missed. 0-1. But yeah, I don't know. My friends at college definitely have, I think, but
it isn't as big of a thing, though.
It isn't as big of a thing because we don't go out as much. You get your own drink from the dining hall, fill it up at the fountain yourself, and however, they don't have the joy.
It's more discreet.
Yeah, it's a little more discreet as Donay comes out to talk to you, Yamana, and how they want to attack Peebles here.
I'm more of an orange juice guy myself.
With pulp or without pulp?
I'd prefer it without pulp, but I'll go either way.
Yeah,
okay.
I prefer to not chew my orange juice. I prefer to drink it. I'm not a big pulp guy.
So that's my This is a stretch squeeze. I'm all for the pulp. If it's out of the carton, you got to go no pulp for me.
That's fair.
As Yamada will settle in.
I don't even have a go-to drink when I go out. It's just like I'll just
Yeah.
stay.
Oh, it's not
hydrated
a
with
go-to.
water.
Yeah.
Oh, for him,
Yeah.
it's a go-to.
Yeah.
I can't say I have just like a drink that I go for every single time once I go out.
0-1. Cutting inside. That one will get away from Donay. Runners will be able to advance 90 feet apiece. You know, I don't like carbonation all that much.
Yeah.
I
I'm with ya.
can't take soda for a little bit because it's just so sweet sometimes. I'm a big sweets guy. I love myself a Reese's peanut butter cup,
Very
but
good.
it just sometimes you feel like you can taste the cavities brewing sometimes with soda.
Fair. No, I'm right there with you.
Infield will come in here to try and prevent a run to come home. 1-1, swing and a miss from Peebles. Now 1-2.
It's been soft contact this inning from Cotuit, but they've just done a great job of putting them where they ain't. They tried to put the steal in motion, and that moved Hainline over closer to the bag to allow Petre to be able to.
As it's a swing and a miss, Yamada is able to work it around Peebles. 2 away here and trying to work out without allowing another one to cross.
When is it not soft contact with Cotuit?
Yeah.
It's just their back control is exceptional.
Now that allows the infield to back up too, so being able to get out of this unscathed if your hero would be big.
Pitch in for strike on Matheson, the center fielder. Had a single back in that 3rd inning for Cotuit. 0-1. Off the plate, 1-1. So you don't have any go-to drink here, Mickey?
I mean, I feel like orange juice is more of a morning drink for me, but even then it's not a routine thing. It's just something I sip at sometimes.
1-1. Went around on it. Now 1-2 as Yamada's trying to work out of this jam here in a big high leverage spot.
I don't know. Big water guy.
Big water? Hey. It's a drink. Yamada liking the calls and signs given by Donay.
Big milkshake guy.
The 1-2. Just off the plate. Yamada thought it was that pitch that was going to work himself out of it. However, off the plate. Now Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Here in the top of the 5th.
You were hoping that happened, just so you could say that. I love it.
Yamada comes home. Off the plate, we're loaded full.
Hey, so for a milkshake, you got to hit the knack soon.
Yeah.
John Schreiber, our producer, raves about their milkshakes.
All right.
He is a big proponent of the knack milkshakes. Mathis dancing over at 3rd. Pitch home. Low below the knees of Matheson. And now a bases loaded situation brings up Teo Banks, the left fielder. Grounded into a double play to end that big 3rd inning. As Harbor Hawks will look for this final out here in the top of the 5th. That one's lined directly by the dugout off the wall of the Hyannis dugout.
Infield at normal depth, outfield as well. Both of them straight up. Dusk begins to fall on McKeon Park.
Pitch off the plate. 1-1 here.
Starting to get that orange tint in everything. Shadows getting long.
Starting to look like a little bit of a baseball sky that could be brewing out there tonight.
Haven't had many of those this year.
1-1. below the knees now, 2-1. It's been so cloudy. You haven't been able to have a baseball sky. The left fielder will swing and miss. Evening the count at 2 apiece.
Yamada has that ERA down below 5 right now, 4.90.
Two, they ring him up looking. Yamato works out of the bases loaded jam. We go to the bottom of the 5th here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Diet Coke? Were you my mom?
You should be so lucky. Because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about? Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it, did it better, and she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
As we welcome you back to McKeon Park, Kaler back out for another inning of work. He's been spectacular again.
Yeah, not a hit allowed so far. Just the 1 walk to Sirota, who then moved on to second. And that's all she wrote so far. It's soon to be an official no-hit bin should he get through these innings for Kaler.
Let's make it a goal to mention that as many times as humanly possible.
Well,
so it'll be Will Taylor to lead it off for Hyannis. So far today has flown out to center field.
Taylor will settle in. He'll look at a strike. Will Taylor, left fielder, flew out over to Matheson. In center field, back in the 2nd inning.
yeah, Taylor's looked really good on defense so far this year. And he missed yesterday's game, and since being up on the Cape, since his first game, that was the first game he missed out on a start on, but still did get to appear.
Breaking ball that runs inside. Taylor's able to protect it off.
And he's a two-sport athlete, too, to be able to have such durability on the field, to be able to come out every game and play center field of all positions. You could argue maybe after catcher that might be one of the toughest, if not the toughest, of the 9 positions out on the field there. So it's really something you have to commend each and every day from Taylor is his effort.
2-2 off the plate.
Football and baseball are obviously very different types of durability because football you're taking huge hits. You're not taking a ton of them, and then baseball you're playing every day.
2-2 chopper back over to Kaler at the mound, firing in time to Thatch. Taylor retired.
And in their own ways, each just wear you down, whether it be just 1 game a week, taking it all at 100%, and then such a long season is the baseball season that it's just going to wear on you, especially mentally. The mental wear on you is just, it can be so taxing. So Taylor being able to basically not stop, jump straight from football into baseball, and then he comes up here for the summer. It's just, it's amazing what he can do.
Lane's able to get one down, and the Harbor Hawks will be able to record their first hit of tonight's ball game.
All thanks to Mickey Doolittle.
I take credit for that.
Yeah, I'm giving you credit.
Lane now reaches a board. That's going to bring Zach Earhart, center fielder, struck out looking back in the second.
Good piece of hitting by Lane, just dumping that one into right center field again. Hit it where they ain't.
Find those gaps. Try and manufacture. You still got plenty of time. Lane will dive back in safely. Strong crowd on hand, as we've mentioned. Even furry ones, indeed.
I think that dog below us is looking right at me.
0-1 here to Earhart.
He's a returner. That dog's been to a couple of games.
Lane will just stay on the ground as that one got away from Thatch there. It was a dribbler that didn't go too far. Just making sure he was safe where he was. Didn't want to try and make any jerk reaction without knowing where the ball was. Earhart looks at a breaking ball upstairs.
Yeah, big, slow breaking ball at 74 miles an hour. Almost takes long time to get to the plate.
Well, one foul back into the netting. A 1-2 here to Earhart, who's behind in the count. We always talk about 1-2, that the most dangerous count you can be in if you're a hitter because of the versatility the pitcher can throw at you in this sequence. I'll check back Lane. He gets in there with his long wingspan.
They're making Lane put in some work over at first base. Not normally a huge stealing threat, but they've made it known that they're thinking about him.
Earhart fouls it up and out of play over by the practice fields here at St. John Paul II High School in downtown Hyannis. Steps away from Main Street.
What's your guys' favorite restaurant on Main Street?
Ooh. The 1-2 to come here to Earhart. What do you think about it in this pitch? That one chopped away. Earhart doing a good job. I think we went out as a broadcast team on the off day Tuesday, right? Was that Tuesday? To Embargo. That place was amazing. The food, the tapas bar, it was fabulous.
And then the
live music
as well.
too.
Oh, the performers were just wonderful.
They even asked us, our table, if we wanted a song. We asked for Chris Stapleton. They did a fabulous rendition.
Really?
Yeah. The 1-2. Earhart popping that one into right field. McCoy will come over to it. It's going to sink in and be there to make the play in shallow right field.
I'm not a big Chris Stapleton guy. I can't say I was on that team, but they made a wonderful rendition of that song, and they sounded really, really great.
Yeah, it was.
What song is that?
Joy of
My Life.
I think. There you go. Producer Graham McNew making me sound smart.
Brad Keylori now settles in.
Grant McNew, also our organist here at McKeon Park.
There's Brad Keylori.
How about favorite ice cream on Main Street, guys?
I haven't had ice cream on Main Street yet.
Swing and a miss from Lori.
I've got Kilman's, guys. I mean, we've got one 25 minutes from me at home, and their marshmallow s'more is just, I would say, the second top ice cream I've ever had in my life, and I've had my fair share.
Pitch missing off the plate. 1-1 here on Lori. Nothing, just summer and ice cream, and especially Cape Cod, just it goes together. As that one trailing into right field. McCoy's going to have to make a play on it, coming in on it. He makes the grab. After Lane's able to work the first hit for the Harbor Hawks, they leave him stranded. We go to the 6th.
We all have obstacles, challenges at different points in life. I still push myself every single day, and the harder I push myself, the more I find myself drawn to wearing UFOs. The first time I put on a pair of UFOs, it was like someone released the pressure. It was so crazy. When you are recovered and can do more, that has a compounding effect on all aspects of your life. Stepping into a pair of UFOs, they're truly one of a kind. There's nothing like them.
Best ever? Good question. Wait, why'd he sound like Dr. J in your head? I've always sounded like Dr. J in my head, which means Dr. J's outside voice sounds like my inside voice? Which Coke? The doc would know. He got the world to call him doctor without going to med school. There's only one best ever.
Welcome you back. Hiro Yamada's out for another inning of work here for the Harbor Hawks. Cotuit, after a 6-run third inning, has been blanked the rest, as Hyannis is still looking to try and get their first run of the game in. But they've been in this position before, down 6. They know it's possible to come back, especially against this Cotuit team, where they did it a week ago.
Yeah, it's hard to write off this team, especially, given what they did. And it only took them 3 outs to do so. But tonight, they've got a couple of innings to do it. And we'll see if they can string together a couple of hits. Time is running out, though.
6 is a big deficit to try and erase. While you know it can be done in 1 inning, not necessarily likely that it can happen all in 1 inning. As it will be McCoy to settle in. It'll be 9-1 and 2-2 up for the Kettleers. He'll look at a ball off the plate. Yamada so far today has been able to work with traffic on and done a great job. That one's going to be lined and foul out of play. One. Foul back off the glove of Donay. One-two. McCoy fouls it off himself. He'll take a couple steps to try and recompose himself.
And McCoy provided one of the many hits in that onslaught in the top of the third. It was an error from Banks to start off the inning, and then McCoy provided that first hit and came around to score on the grand slam by Mathis.
One-two. Fouled away. Let's do it again.
Shout out Game Day Ops. You see all the banners out in right field? They always put them up.
The 1-2
every game.
Off the plate. Now 2-2. Yeah, you got to get.
It's a long walk.
Do a good job. Make sure that you, the spectator, when you come to McKeon Park, are treated to a spectacular experience. As the 2-2 off the plate. Now 3-2. The dude, Dunwoody, Georgia native, out of the University of Kentucky. Payoff pitch to come from Yamada. Foul tipped it barely. We'll do it again full.
Reminds me that in one of our, I believe it was one of our canceled games, it might have been Taylor was trying to fix a little spot out on that left center field wall. Right at the top of that wall, there's blue padding. And it looks it's been probably fixed for a few days, but it does look like it's fixed now out there in left center, right close to that 379 sign.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Yeah, it was back during that fog game against Wareham.
Yeah, it was.
What a weird game. We've had a lot of weird games this year.
Payoff pitch. Off the plate. As Yamada wanted that pitch back, it appeared.
That game was perhaps the weirdest.
That was a tie due to the fog delay. That fog came in quick.
And a tie that Hyannis feels like they won. Like they felt good about getting a point out of that game.
Yeah, that one, Cam Smith launched a homer in his first at-bat and then was able to answer as Yamada will check back in time and safely as McCoy back there. And then it was that big double from Brad Keylori to be able to score Donay.
The center fielder lost it in the lights. Lost it in the fog, rather.
Hunter takes a healthy lead off of first as Harrison looks at a strike. He has a single, came back in that third, was able to come around and score in that one as well. Popped up, high out of play. Something we haven't seen as much about is the Cotuit. They've been somewhat, when they've gotten on, they've somewhat stayed put over at first base. They haven't necessarily been in motion as quickly as they were the last two times we've seen these two teams face off. The 0-2 from Yamada. Foul back into the netting.
McCoy does look like he's raring to go right now, though. He is taking big leads. He's jumping around at first base. Definitely someone that you need to pay attention to.
And is it because they still don't have an out here, and we've seen it a couple times where they don't want to try and push it when they don't have anybody out because they don't want to waste a runner on a stolen base and waste an out as well. That one's going to be chopper off over to Laurie. He looks over to second, but going to have to go to first in time. A great job by Harrison to beat it down the line, but Laurie is there in time to get the put out.
Yeah, just too slowly hit to try and get the speedy McCoy over at second. Laurie had a look, but probably the right decision to go to first. And there you also heard the communication. I'm not sure who was yelling that on the infield, but someone was yelling 1-1-1.
Now Ryan Galaney. Will settle in. He looks at a ball that gets away from Yamada.
I think part of the reason why they haven't been so quick also is because there's been quite a bit of time. There hasn't been too much time. I mean, they've had the bases loaded quite a few times, and there have been multiple runners on quite a bit of the game. So haven't really had much of a chance especially because of how in quick succession these guys have ran through the lineup.
Fouled back into the netting. Now a 1-1 count here. As Galaney trying to take advantage of McCoy at second base. That one's going to get lined right back up the middle. Roberts will send him in. The throw from Earhart will be cut off, and it'll bounce away from Donay. Trying to take advantage and motioning and getting over to second in time will be Galaney. It's another run for Cotuit on the RBI single from Galaney.
Good piece of hitting there. Shot that one right up the middle. Hero had to duck to get out of the way of that one, but that is the 7th run of the game for Cotuit.
And that's how quickly they can strike, too. Just like that, as the leadoff walk came from McCoy, he put himself in motion on the ground ball, and then Galaney just a few pitches later will probably almost now certainly knock Yamada out of this game.
They'll make a call to the bullpen. We'll take a break and be right back right here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle. Up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. PlantBottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor. It's a sign that this is a business you can trust.
Hi. Oh, this is amazing.
Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
Carter Lovaz comes out for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Boasts a 7.7 ERA through 5 games pitched. He's pitched 4 2/3 so far.
Appeared in 5 games. Most recently at Bourne, pitched a shutout inning against them. Struck out 1 in that game. Faced the minimum.
Yeah, and for Lovaz, in his outings, he's only gone as far as an inning and 2/3. He has not pushed beyond that in that situation.
Yeah, a guy that probably is only in to clean up this inning, maybe go 1 extra, but Hyannis is just looking for inning eaters at this point. They need to get through here. Even if they don't make a comeback, just retire hitters quickly. Save your arms. But certainly still a doable comeback right now.
Time is starting to damper, though, in this spot. We're here on the top of the 6th. Cotuit has scored 6 in the top of the 3rd, and so far have scored 1 here in the top of the 6th. Tanner Thatch settles in as Lovaz check back Galaney, who stands at second base off the advancement on the throw home from Earhart.
That runner is still Yamada's responsibility, so his line is not yet closed.
Chopper taking a high bounce. Kelly will have to get over there in time, and does.
That was weird. It went off the lip of between the grass and the dirt in front of home plate. Took a high bounce, even though that one was hit pretty well. Nonetheless, that's the 2nd out of the inning. Nice job by Lovaz.
Now a dangerous batter comes to the plate in Mathis. He's been able to reach in his past 3 plate appearances. As that one goes away, it was a fielder's choice. He was able to get over to first on in the 1st. It was a home run in the 3rd and then a single back in the 5th. He would be stranded at 3rd after Yamada would be able to work out of the jam. 1-0, fouled away, an up and out of play here. Now a 1-1 count here to Mathis, the designated hitter.
Yeah, Mathis also hit a home run in the first game at Lowell Park, too, and he also finished with a few hits that day as well. So
that one in there for strike.
He went 2 for 3 on the day with a walk, so that was the other start that he made. Didn't start again in the big comeback, so he's been seeing the ball really well against this team.
1-2 chopped over to Hainline at short, fires in time to leave Galaney stranded. However, they get 1. They lead by 7. Harbor Hawks picking up the bats.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen.
Tell mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the cloud.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell mama.
Pushed on to the bottom of the second. Cotuit's able to get one in the top of the sixth. Now push on. They lead 7-0. Hyannis trying to work a little bit of magic here to try and come back in this one. After a big third inning, that was 6 runs on 6 hits, 1 error and 1 left on. But if you want to do anything, this is the time to do it. If you're the Harbor Hawks, as they've got the top of the lineup in Smith, Hainline, and Kelly due up.
You don't even need it all back in one inning. You can just get a couple here. Top of the lineup due up. Haven't been too effective so far in this game, only the 1 hit. But if you continue to battle, take good at-bats, maybe get into this Cotuit bullpen a little bit more.
That's what you're going to have to try and do.
You can feel good going to the next one.
Yeah, and it was the same story last time. It was Kaler going, and now he's going a little bit further, starting to go into the 6th. He only made it through 5 last time, so in line for the win now. And if you can just get him out of this game, I mean, that's going to be getting you the best chance because of how effective he's been so far today.
However, Hainline will
It's just me, or is this the longest half inning ever?
It's been a long half inning, but it will be Jacob Schaefer to come in to pitch here for Cotuit.
Like in between half inning.
Oh, yeah, probably. Schaefer will get his first appearance of the summer from UNC Wilmington, hometown of High Point, North Carolina. The senior looks to deal to Cam Smith in 4 strike. Once again, another stellar day for Kaler, going 5 innings here at McKeon. This is where the Harbor Hawks were able to break through on their pitching staff, as that one's above the lettering of Smith.
Kingdom Style really wants to play right now over the speakers. Stadium organist Josh Schreiber.
1-1 down low in the dirt, 2-1 here. Being good on Hawks is a good necessity. Able to have, especially baseball games, to provide that in-between inning music. That one in 4 strike on Smith.
Yeah, decent for batting practice, too. I mean, that's a big one as well to help guys get in their zone a little bit. We've got a great Hawks here for pregame.
2-2 pitch comes home. That one's going to get lined off the foot of Schaefer. Petrie's there to recover it and gets it in time. What a recovery from Petrie over at second base to field it off of the foot of Schaefer.
You know, it's pretty often we see the 1-4-3 put out, but every time it happens, you think, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and that's tough for Petrie because he has to shift his weight back. He was going up the middle, and that deflection took it back to his glove side. So shifted well, wasn't hit too hard, and he wasn't really breaking so hard, so made it a little easier for him.
Hainline will look at a ball. Always like to retire that first batter if you're Schaefer in your first appearance, but it's time for the Harbor Hawks to try and strike through. That one's down in the dirt, gets away from Peebles behind home plate.
Closes the line on Kaler's day. As you mentioned, those 5 spectacular innings. Didn't let up a run, just 1 hit, walked 2, and struck out 4. So again, that's the second straight time here at McKeon. A 5-inning display came from Kaler, and it was a masterclass.
2-0 upstairs on Hainline.
We'll be at Bourne tomorrow. Looking forward to that one.
The 3-0 outside, and Hainline's able to work a walk to put a runner on here with 1 away. And the bottom of the 6th, yeah. Another Friday matchup between Bourne and Hyannis. It feels like that has been the matchup that you see on your Friday nights.
So are we going to push Friday Night Bites back to Chatham?
We can push it back to Chatham if you would like.
I say we push it back to Chatham.
Okay.
So it'll be Saturday Night Bites.
Saturday Night Bites at Chatham.
Unless we could find something as spectacular.
Runner set in motion. That's going to be a hit and run design. It goes right to second base. Standing on the bag is Harrison. Can't draw it up any better if you're Cotuit. They get out of the inning. They still lead by 7 here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen.
Tell mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell mama.
We go to the top of the 7th. Here at McKeon Park, Cotuit leading by 7. Michael Kersing, Mickey Doolittle, Jay Wire, so happy to have you with us. Brielle Losick patrolling the sidelines for us tonight. We do apologize for our one-camera broadcast tonight. Had technical difficulties earlier today. We assure you it will be all set and ready to go for Sunday's home matchup. Back here again. Thank you for bearing with us tonight. As Kelly, after he was the last out, comes back in after Parker was doing his due diligence as Lovaz comes back out again. And Donay will do a little switcheroo here. Kelly will come in to catch, and Donay will push over to first base. I thought when I saw Kelly come in that we were going to see Lane move out of the designated hitter role, go over to first base as we've seen him play, but they're going to give him a little try over there. As Kelly's just
I don't
down.
think we've seen Donay over at first base this year.
As that pitch in for a strike, I do not believe we have so far
No, we haven't.
in our games. Lovaz 0-1 to Petrie as that one's going to be lined right back up the middle. Textbook hitting gets him aboard. Yeah.
Man, this Cotuit team just, they can hit. They can hit for contact. They can hit for power, and this is a scary team going forward. You do not want to face them. In first place by 2 games right now.
Pitch in for strike on Peebles. Lovaz will check back there with Petrie. Didn't even off first base there, just wanted to tire over maybe to, instead of using his mound disengagement, just checking over there to have it not count.
That's true.
The 0-1. Breaking ball in for a strike at 80 miles an hour like we talked about. A semi-introduced pitch clock without the clocks themselves being in the stadiums themselves, but the umpires keeping it with stopwatches with them out in the fields. As pitch will get appealed down, and I'll be down to Mike Mackey, Al Bosdell behind home plate, and Tony Corelli over at first base. First appeal of the day. Normally try and work the umpires in a little earlier, but haven't had a necessary moment to, as they've been stellar out in the field. 1-2. Another breaking ball just off the plate.
Yeah, and you mentioned with that pitch clock, it's kind of been half worked into the league, but you've seen the results. These games are significantly quicker. Austin Dakuda, our broadcasting director, said that he's been at games that have lasted 4.5 hours.
2-2, missing, loading the count full. Even last night, we thought last night was a long game because it was a 10-3 win for Hyannis. It was only 2 hours and 58 minutes.
Yeah.
And that really, in the grand scheme of baseball, when you talk about it, isn't really that long. Full count here to come from Lovas. Runner set in motion. Designed hit and run. That will go off into the grassy berm down the left field line. You look through, the longest game was born here, which was a 3 hour and 18-minute contest that resulted in an 8-6 win for Bourne. And then that's the longest of the year.
That game didn't even feel that long either.
3-2, fouled off. We'll do it again.
Even longer than the comeback win here?
Ooh, I would have to imagine.
That might have been the longest inning of the year.
Yeah.
Just because the top half, Cotuit picked up 4 runs, and that lasted a while, and then the bottom half.
I don't remember the way that game moved before that, though.
Yeah, 3:23 for Cotuit.
Okay.
That was the longest. But so the 3-2 off the plate, it's going to be a walk from Peoples. I discounted that one a little bit because you went into the extra inning in that
also
one.
True. That's
so
also true.
I was looking at just straight 9-inning games because that one had a little bit more to it. But even if you even go into an extra inning,
that's only 3 minutes longer.
Yeah, that's not that crazy when you think about it in grand scheme of things.
The 6th inning of last night was ridiculous. That was a mess of an inning that featured a ton of pitching changes, wild pitches, walks, hits.
That one's pulled fouling out of play over by the parking lot.
Hyannis ended up scoring 6 runs in that inning. Excuse me, that was the 8th inning.
2 on, still nobody away here for Lovas, who's attacking Matheson. Pitch comes home. Upstairs above the lettering.
So when the pitch clock came to Major League Baseball, were you guys for it or against it?
I think I was for it. I mean, if it speeds, I love being at the ballpark personally, but it makes sense for what the league was trying to do, and it's worked really, really well so far.
1-1 fouled back into the netting. So I'm a big goer of the South Bend Cubs, which is the high A affiliate of the Chicago Cubs, and I saw it implemented my freshman year of college, and it worked wonders. It was just, the game didn't feel like it was a forced game that felt like it was forced to be that speed. It just felt a little more natural as you just eliminate a little bit more of those stoppages. As the 1-2 off the plate, now 2-2 here.
Very similarly, I go to the AAA affiliate of the San Francisco Giants, the Sacramento River Cats. Used to work there, actually. And the difference between the pitch clock and no pitch clock was night and day.
Yeah.
And I kept trying to tell people, like, this is going to work. And it works very well, and it doesn't feel like you have, like you said, that forced kind of energy. You need to throw the pitch by this point. It looks very natural. And I was very pro pitch clock before it even came in.
And then similarly to you guys, it's just a joke. It's not similar. I don't really go to minor league games. I don't have many of a chance.
Full count pitch coming. That will get lined and drop in front of Earhart. They'll wheel Petrie around, but give a late hold by Roberts. Petrie stays at third. Advancing on the single will be Peebles over to second base to bring up Teo Banks. Still nobody away here in this 7th inning.
Yeah, back to the conversation at hand. I just remember listening to a game on the radio, a Yankee game on the radio, where they were just talking about how much better it was because there was a Sox pitcher who just kept on stopping, and there was like it took a minute for him to throw one pitch. And now, I mean, while making that was like about a 5-minute at bat.
Pitch in for strike on Teo Banks. He had a single back in the third, grounded into a double play in that same inning as he came around to be the 10th batter and then struck out back in the 5th. I've been huge in favor of it. I think it really just brings this game back to the fans a little bit more.
Yeah.
As the 0-1, they'll say he went around on it, now 0-2. Because that's always been the biggest complaint fans had about baseball was that it just dragged on and it started to get out of the fans' reach.
And especially in our generation. And it didn't make much sense to me when people argued against it for, keeping it classic and everything.
0-2 comes home. That's going to be lined directly into the glove. Will they be able to double him up? Yes, they will. Laurie's over there in time as Hainline was able to grab it out of the air. They tag up Peebles. 2 away here with runners on the corners now.
Yeah, nice play by Hainline. Peebles was kind of a sitting duck right there. Told to freeze on those line drives, but he was just too far off the bag to get back.
And that's where those secondary leads punish you.
Yeah.
And that was a hard hit ball. And there's really nothing you can do about that. It went straight to Hainline, and that's the price you pay sometimes.
Pitch in for a strike on McCoy. Great awareness by Hainline there. Pitch in for strike again, Lovaz. Now ahead 0-2 here with 2 away, trying to work out of the jam without allowing another one here in the top of the 7th. Runner set in motion, pitch goes high. Kelly will allow Matheson the stolen base with second base vacant. And then
but all those naysayers about the pitch clock have gone away in recent months.
Well, 1-2. Down in the dirt now, 2-2.
Everybody seems to be on board with it now.
I think once they got it, they introduced it, and they saw how strong it could be. It's an exciting feat for the game of baseball. 2-2. Swung on and miss. Lovaz works out of the jam with 2 runners in scoring position without allowing one to cross. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's stretch time here at McKeon Park.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen.
Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
Welcome you here to McKeon Park. Now let's take a look around what else is going on in the out-of-town scoreboard.
The only other final in the league right now is YD over Bourne 4-0. So YD will maintain their lead in the East. Also Chatham and Falmouth, a big lead for Falmouth in the top of the 6th there. 10-4 your score. Of course, Cotuit 7-0 over Hyannis right now. And then the only other game going on is Wareham and Harwich. They're tied at 3 in the top of the 4th. Harwich trying to match YD's victory today, and Wareham trying to stay in second place. or trying to lengthen their lead on second place, with Bourne picking up the loss today.
Settle back in as Sirota will look at a strike here in the bottom of the 7th.
Wareham trying to stay only 4 points behind Cotuit. It's an interesting league this year.
0-1 in for a strike. Now 0-2 on Sirota. You feel at any given moment any team can start running away potentially.
That East seems to be a little more open than the West.
0-2 off the plate, 1-2. You do, once again, Cotuit does have a generous lead right now as they're 11-5, but still haven't even flipped over to July just yet.
No.
So 1-2 in the dirt.
So much changes with the MLB draft coming through.
Yeah.
Teams are going to lose guys. They're going to lose some of their best players, but these teams will be new ones after July 6th. Is it July 6th? Pretty sure it is.
2-2. Chopped over to Galaney, coming in on the infield grass to make the play. Thatch had to come off the bag down into foul territory to make the grab.
July 9th.
I was going to say, it's pretty close to July 10th, right around All-Star Weekend. Now that brings up now the first baseman, Brody Donay.
Be on the lookout for the Harbor Hawks draft preview. Another one of the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network, their content coming out.
As always, don't forget about Hawk Talk after every game. I have a post-game conversation down on the field as that one gets by Peebles. 1-0 to Donay.
If you're just tuning into the Cape for the first time, I highly recommend you open up that Hot Talk playlist and just play through a couple of them. You can really get a sense for what's been going on with the Harbor Hawks this year and the teams they've been playing.
1-0. That one's lined directly and through the legs of Schaefer. However, in the hole to make the throw in time. Petrie's there. Thatch tried to do the snap tag on the way by, but Donay's able to get down safely. As a hit there for Donay. Gets a runner aboard here.
Yeah, just the second hit of the day, and it nearly wasn't. It almost came off of Schaefer's leg. That would have been a real shin buster if it did, but it hopped up off the mound, and Petrie made the play, but the throw was just a little bit too high. It would have been close regardless had it gotten there, but luckily for them, Donay reaches first.
Will Taylor settles in the left fielder. He's been retired his past two.
Shameless plug by our producer, Grant McNew.
Pitch low in the dirt.
Check out the Early Bird podcast on the Harbor Hawks YouTube channel.
Yeah, dropping Tuesdays and Thursdays. Very exciting for him. 3-0. In for strike to Taylor. Pitch away. Now moving the count 3-1. Taylor settles in. Pitch coming from Schaefer. That one's going to be lined over to Petrie. He'll go to two. They'll get the lead runner. Reaching on the fielder's choice will be Taylor. Athletic play now from Petrie to go the other way to get it over to Harrison at short.
Yeah, it was an aggressive turn by Petrie over at second base, but executed that perfectly, got his feet square towards where he was throwing the second base bag and made the play for the second out.
With that ball being so decently hit by Taylor, you have to be able to shift your hips so fast, and Petrie made a nice play to be able to do that, set those feet, and be able to fire on to Harrison awaiting at short.
0-0 pitch to Lane, finds the count. 0-1 now. Lane batting 200 with 2 RBIs coming into this one on the season, as that one's going to be popped into foul territory. McCoy and Thatch will give chase. However, that one will drop down in the Bermuda Triangle. Just foul.
Barely foul. Nearly was able to dunk that one in, and give credit to Taylor using his speed to circle the bases. He might have been able to score on that if that was fair.
We talk about Taylor's speed can play a factor, and that's what Hyannis needs to do in this spot in the next couple, as their times to get at-bats are starting to dwindle here. They got 2 more, not including this one. That's a strikeout looking on Lane. As we go to the 8th here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are, they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You got to come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, determine to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, you get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de batería, más éxito tengo.
Man, how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be? You're a bad mother.
We push on to the 8th. It's 7-0 here, Cotuit leading Hyannis. Thanks so much for joining us on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Alongside Michael Kirsting, Mickey Doolittle, I'm Jacob Irons. Bria Losick down there patrolling the sidelines for us. Nico Sharp, Josh Schreiber, and Grant McNew doing all the button pushing behind the scenes for us today on this gorgeous Thursday evening here on Cape Cod.
I think I'm happy to not be seeing a Mickey Doolittle sky for once. We've got clear skies here tonight. We're not losing the ball too much as dusk and twilight is falling. The lights will come on. So I'm glad. I know it's your sky, and I know you like it or don't, but I know it's your trademark, but I'm happy we're not seeing it.
Chopper that's going to stay fair after it's eaten up in the grass, not getting over there as he's able to miss the bag. Harrison just didn't even go for it. He just continued to run in foul territory as Donay was over there, couldn't find it, and makes the play 3 unassisted.
There's your play if you're Brody Donay, getting a few reps in with a bigger deficit. Why not have some guys run out? Donay getting a nice little opportunity to play at first. That was fielded nicely.
And this is your time when you're down 7-0. You can try and work something in to try and mess around with it. If you're the Harbor Hawks, to try and see if he's a good fit over there. You have his stature at 6'5". That one missing on Galaney. 1-0. Crowd still sticking around here for round 3 of the Battle of Barnstable, as that one's going to be clobbered, but trailing foul and goes into the trees down the left field line.
I wasn't able to work this in earlier, but I'm just going to say it now. It's not really relevant anymore now that Cotuit has 11 hits, but their home road splits.
That one's going to be lined right back off over to Lovaz. He underhands it to Donay. 2 away.
Cotuit is hitting .288 at home and just .225 on the road.
They like Lowell Park in those 5 o'clock starts, apparently.
But then on the opposite side, their ERA, their team ERA is .289 on the road and .424 at home.
pitch away on Tanner Thatch.
So they play a bunch of high-scoring games at home and low-scoring games on the road.
So it's only natural they go out to a 7-0 lead early.
Yeah, no, that's.
Yep. That's
I was
baseball.
gonna try and work it in earlier, and then
That opportunity.
6-run inning.
Someone went and missed there.
Yeah.
2-0 here. That one's popped up and trailing back, and that thing's out of here. It's a home run for Tanner Thatch. Cotuit's able to add on another one. It's 8-0 now.
And that one was no pop-up. That was a drilled shot out to right center field. And it takes a little bit to be getting it up past that tree. That went almost halfway up that big tree between the light tower and the flagpole. Absolute missile out there from Tanner Thatch.
Thatch launching one there for his third home run of the year. And now that's going to bring up Cole Mathis, who homered back in the third. It was a grand salami. Slovaz fires in for a strike.
That puts Thatch at 4 for 5 on the day. 3 singles and that home run there to go along with 2 RBI. Really, really big day for Tanner Thatch.
That one's popped up into right field. Sirota will be able to make a play this time. He comes in to make the grab. It's now 3 retired. However, it's Cotuit getting another one on a home run from Thatch. We go to the bottom of the 8th here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen.
Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
Welcome you back to McKeon Park. 7-0 Cotuit leading over the Hyannis Harbor Hawks on this Thursday night. Entering into the first weekend of the 4th of July, as it's before 4th of July next week already. It's crazy to think about. Hyannis will be home on the 4th of July. They'll play YD for the first time. They haven't seen YD all year. And that's going to be a big game, as YD has gotten off to a hot start in the East.
Yeah, it's a back-to-back against YD.
Yeah.
So the 4th, YD comes here to play at McKeon, and then Harbor Hawks hit the road the next day. I believe that was the only scheduled back-to-back of the season until that first Cotuit game got rained out.
Schaefer deals a strike on Earhart. The 0-1 delivery. Swing and a miss there. Earhart wanted it.
Yeah, he's still looking for his first hit on the year. Came in 0 for 22, so still a bit of a longer adjustment period to the wood bat for him.
They'll have Ethan Bates in the on-deck circle set to pinch hit for Laurie. As that pitch misses, now a 1-2 count. One, two. Chopped foul back into Earhart's ankle.
So, guys, I go out for dinner after this game. Where should I be going?
I
New
don't know.
recommendations, if anybody.
Katie's.
That's the burger
Katie's
place? Is that on Main Street?
Fire.
I have not been to Katie's yet.
Tasty crab, okay. Okay, getting tasty crab from producer Josh Schreiber.
Now the 1-2. Popped up, out of play, and into the trees.
I shamelessly asked you guys what your favorite places on Broadway were.
Yeah.
With the expectation that you guys would ask me that question back.
Oh,
and
my
I'd
bad.
say
Sorry.
Katie's.
Man.
And he didn't.
Sorry,
We went into
there's a little bit of a
further
baseball game in front of us.
conversation.
A little bit of a baseball game in front of us sometimes that takes our attention away sometimes. Now the 1-2.
Whoa.
Broken bat at the nub. That's going to be picked up by Harrison and fired over. Earhart tried to use his speed to beat it down the line.
Yeah, sorry for my exclamation there to jump in front of you, Jacob, but that bat went flying. It nearly made it to the dirt out between third and second, and a nice play by Harrison at short to keep his concentration and make the first out.
And now a pinch hitter. As we talked about, Ethan Bates comes in, the two-way guy out of Louisiana Tech. Nothing pitch to Bates as he looks at a ball away, 1-0. So I have not been to Katie's yet. Pretty solid, just really good burgers. I've only heard good things.
It's amazing. Great burgers, great grill.
1-0 off the plate again, 2-0.
Good fries, too.
See, that's the key to a good burger place.
100%.
Because understand, everyone can make a burger, but if you don't have good fries, then that really leaves something to be desired with the burger.
King has the worst fries ever.
Now, is there
2-0 drilled to left field, but Banks off a little bit of a hop. He had to get to go grab it as it was over his head. He didn't think it was as high as it did, but his height's able to work it out 2 away.
So is there anything different about these fries at Katie's?
No, they're just solid. They're
All right.
quality fries.
All right.
Quality
Because
they're like 4.5 war. No. I say 3.5 war fries.
I've never heard that comp before.
They're what?
3.5 war. They'll get you
When's
3.5
above
war.
replacement?
Oh. That one's going to be a line. It's a fair ball for Cam Smith. He'll turn first. Heading into second, he'll stand up for a double. That one down the line, rocketed by Galaney at third base. Cam Smith continues to get hot here. He registers his first hit of today's game.
Yeah, now that's hits in 6 of his last 7 games. He went hitless last night, but that also snapped a 5-game hit streak of his. But now he extends an on-base run of his own to 7 games. We talked about Donay earlier.
100 miles off the bat from Cam Smith. He's been seeing the ball like a beach ball recently.
High chopper, and Thatch is able to corral it off a little bit of the shift on Kelly. He gets it over Schaefer in time. We go to the 9th.
We all have obstacles, challenges at different points in life. I still push myself every single day, and the harder I push myself, the more I find myself drawn to wearing UFOs. The first time I put on a pair of UFOs, it was like someone released the pressure. It was so crazy. When you are recovered and can do more, that has a compounding effect on all aspects of your life. Stepping into a pair of UFOs, they're truly one of a kind. There's nothing like them.
Best ever? Good question. Wait, why'd he sound like Dr. J in your head? I've always sounded like Dr. J in my head, which means Dr. J's outside voice sounds like my inside voice? Which Coke? The doc would know. He got the world to call him doctor without going to med school. There's only one best ever.
Welcome you back here to McKeon Park. Push on to the 9th. 8-0 Cotuit leading Hyannis. It was a 6-run third. They were able to get one across in the 6th, and then it was a homer in the 8th to get us here to this score, as they've registered 12 hits, haven't committed an error yet, and Hyannis has only been able to get on via the hit 3 times.
Yeah, Hyannis offense struggling a bit tonight, but you'll have those down nights as an offense. So, you know, coming back from that huge inning in the 8th last night, might be bound to have a down night.
That one in for strike.
And we saw it earlier in the season after the comeback against these Cotuit Kettleers. Hyannis came back against Bourne and got rocked.
That one's 1-1. Yeah, it's sometimes a little hard to really get back on it here in this situation. But you'll have an opportunity again tomorrow, no matter whatever the circumstance it is. 1-1 in for strike.
And games like this, it makes it easier to forget and move on. It's like if you're Cotuit, you'd seen them drop a few after. You could argue that after that comeback, it kind of set them off their mojo for a little bit. But it's games like these that'll allow you to reset, just move on to the next game.
2-2 here, with Lovaz still eating up some innings. That one's high chopper down to the right side of the infield. Donate comes off the bag. Lovaz in time to be there. What a play by both Donate, who's not playing his regular position over at first base. Comes off of it, and Lovaz with his speed gets over there in time.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a first baseman, that should be a run-of-the-mill play, but we haven't seen Donate much at first, so he has to anticipate as soon as Lovaz is going to be there. Not only that, he had to move and he had to throw it. You normally give a lead throw on those kinds of plays, so to be able to anticipate where the bag was in a different position than he was playing, that's good work from Donate.
Pitch in for strike on Peebles. Temperature starting to drop here as 0-1 from Lovaz. Up above, making it a 1-1 count. Grabbing a little bit of a sweatshirt as temp drops down just to 67 as that one's popped up into center field. Dropping back will be Earhart. He positions himself under it to make the grab. 2 away here in the top of the 9th.
Shohei Ohtani hit his 29th home run of the year this year, tonight.
The feat we are seeing right now is pretty crazy out of Ohtani.
You know who had 29 through June 29th last year?
Oh, no.
Aaron Judge.
I don't want to hear it right now.
Pitch off the plate on Matheson. However, let's bring some up a positive for you, Michael, as just the 24th perfect game was pitched last night by Domingo Herman.
And guess who was asleep?
1-0. They'll offer for a strike on Matheson. No, you are not.
I promise, man.
Wow.
I would have been up jumping for joy, letting you guys know it. But I was asleep at that point last night. I was in early.
1-1. Popped up to center field. It's going to be in shallow center field. Giving chase for will be Earhart. Unable to make the grab. No one could get there in time. It was in that shallow part of center field. It was that Bermuda Diamond out there.
You know, that perfect game was against the Oakland A's, so.
That discount, absolutely nothing. Nope. I'm not taking that slander. I've been talking with a few of my buddies about, I really did think it was going to be so much longer until we saw another one because of how, I couldn't say dominant, but how the game has changed in terms of banning the shift, only keeping 2 guys on one side, and certain guys like we talk Ohtani, Judge, of course, not in the lineup, but guys who you expect to get a hit nearly every game. that certain teams have so many of them that I didn't think it'd be this long, much less the Yankee staff, not discounting them by any account.
1-0, Chopper goes foul.
I mean,
still against the Yankees.
I'm discounting.
Wow.
I'm discounting none of it. Not even just because it's my team. I mean, it's such a tough feat to do.
No matter who you play,
Yeah.
you have to,
These are professional baseball players, regardless of what team you're playing for.
and especially to have the arm strength to go the full 9 as
Yeah.
well as
He almost
Herman
Maddoxed it too.
Yeah.
Have you seen their ballpark?
The 1-1 pitch home off the plate, 2-1 now.
Now is a Maddox beneath 100? I want to clear this one up. Is what Maddox did a complete game in less than 80 pitches, I believe it was once. So that's where the term comes from. But I want to know if it's exclusively beneath 80, beneath 90, 100.
2-1 launched into the night sky, giving chase for it will be Earhart and Taylor. And Earhart's able to make the play on the warning track, touching the wall. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Hyannis needs 8 to tie.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle, up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. PlantBottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor. It's a sign that this is a business you can trust. Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
Welcome you back to McKeon Park here as Cotuit has an 8-run lead going into the bottom of the 9th. Hyannis will need 8 to tie, 9 to walk it off here in the bottom of the 9th. So happy to have you with us alongside Michael Kirsting, Mickey Doolittle. I'm Jacob Irons. Thanks for sticking with us, whether you're on D1Baseball.com or on our YouTube channel. And a big spot here for both respective teams to try and eke out a win. If it's Cotuit, they continue to pace out the West as they'll advance to 12-5 if they were able to work the win today. Hyannis loses as it stands right now. They were dropped to 8-7-1 with 17 points on the year.
And it just makes these in division games so important because now it gives Cotuit the chance to bury Hyannis and take a few more steps up over them.
Be Noah Roon, Cotuit Kettleer to come in out of Kansas State. He's appeared in 5 games, has 3 saves, and 9 innings pitched, and he has somewhat been their closer this year when they have needed to shut the door. Rowan has come in to shut it for Cotuit.
I'm surprised it isn't darker out right now.
Yeah.
This game has gone by decently quickly.
Yeah, we're just coming up on 2.5 right now. Started at 6 o'clock or around there, maybe 6:01, 6:02. But try to be pretty punctual here at McKeon Park.
I talked about it about a week ago. Was that was the summer solstice? So the day's getting only shorter from here. But this is what you love about those summer nights: the sun staying up for just that little bit longer.
Kelly looks at a ball as my family's in attendance tonight. All
right.
My sister, her friend, and my mom made the drive up from our little hometown. 1-0, swing and a miss. Now even in the count at one apiece with Kelly, so they'll be happy to get on the road maybe with a little more sunlight as they'll drive back tonight.
Yeah. How far is that drive to Connecticut?
2 hours probably tonight.
Not bad.
No, not bad at all.
Not
That was,
bad.
trust me, Mom's a school teacher, so she's all excited that she's out for the summer as that one's fouled right up by them, but continues over the grandstand.
Yeah, I got my mom back home. She's normally tuning in. She's a teacher herself, so she's been able to tune in a lot more recently, being able to get back home in time and things.
Are all of our moms school teachers?
I was going to say yes.
Then I guess so.
Yeah, Miss
There we
Doolittle's a school
go.
teacher too, so. Well, 1-2 off the plate, now 2-2. To Austin Kelly. As Ruin settles onto the rubber. He'll come home. Big swing and a miss from Austin Kelly to get the first out here in the bottom of the ninth.
Orlando Archie is an all-star starter.
Really?
Wow. Good for him.
Now they'll bring up Mike Sirota, the right fielder. He's been able to reach base once today. It was a walk back in the second.
He's having a pretty good year. His OPS is almost 800.
That one's drilled over to Harrison at short. Up with it, 2-hop. He gets it in time, 6-3. Hyannis down to the last out. Now we'll bring up the first baseman, Brody Donay. He continues his on-base streak to 13 games after he was able to single in the 7th, continuing to be a factor in every game. Have to imagine he's going to be on some of these scouting big boards for the 2024 draft here in a couple years. Swing and a miss.
Once again, we'll be on the road at Bourne tomorrow. And then we'll stay on the road on July 1st at Chatham before coming home for Harwich and YD. In between those two games, there will be an off day. Theoretically. Knock on wood.
Isn't that off day July 3rd?
July 3rd.
Well, that's the makeup with Orleans.
Oh.
So there's no off day there. However, there is another off day in the back end of that on the 6th, if I'm correct.
Yep.
On the 1-1. So you get an off day in that 4th of July week.
There were supposed to be two.
1-1. Fouled off.
Probably why they scheduled those two off days together.
Yeah,
Knowing that it's early in the season, perhaps a little more stormy on the Cape.
Yeah. And you also have the ability to try and limit the moving around here on 4th of July week on Cape Cod. Like we've talked about, the hub of activity soon coming here. As the Cotuit faithful here start to pick up a little bit of their own clap on the 1-2 to come to Donay. Pitch away. Now Deuces Wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here. Claps picking back up again here in the Battle of Barnstable. They ring up Donay. They got him. Cotuit takes a series lead of 2-1 over Hyannis in the Battle of Barnstable.
Yeah, it was a disappointing one for Hyannis tonight. Never could get the bats going, but beauty of summer baseball, we say it so many times during the broadcast, is that you get to play tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's just one of those games. A lot of energy exerted last night to come back from 3-1 down. So it's just one of those where you hang your head for a second, of course, but it makes it easier to move on to tomorrow, forget about today, and just go straight back at it as if nothing happened.
We'll play at Bourne tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Once again, we want to thank all of our viewers for bearing with us tonight on a one-camera setup. We promise you we will be back together in full functioning on Sunday when we return home. For Michael Kirsting, Mickey Doolittle, Nico Sharp, Grant McNew and Josh Schreiber, our producer. I'm Jacob Iron saying so long. We'll see you tomorrow at Bourne. Cotuit gets it 8-0.
Tough is your thing. Smart is your thing. Caring is your thing. If you live in Massachusetts, community is your thing. Since 1972, the Massachusetts State Lottery has provided over $25 billion to help cities and towns with the things they need most. If you live here, giving is your thing.
My family earns respect.
My family clears bases.
My family breaks records.
My family wins MVPs.
My family gives everything.
My family makes history.
My family wins championships.
There's no family.
There's no family. There's no family.
There's no family like my family.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
When Alaska Airlines needed a partner for the complex operations of travel, they made the switch to T-Mobile. Our 5G has Alaska Airlines and their customers covered, from major hubs to remote destinations, with 5G coverage ready now for the demands of today and the future. T-Mobile's network powers Alaska Airlines as they deliver next-level care for all customers. 5G ready now. That's how unconventional thinking is better for business.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some were skeptical. So we're not gonna have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.